Well, hello, hello. I don't know if I can even, you have to let me know if you can hear me. I've got a new computer. I'm still trying to set it up. Mercy. I don't know how to even, wish there was a pause. I could pause it and then play it and then see if I hear me because I don't hear me. So, mm. Every time I get on here, I get so sleepy. I don't know what it is. It takes me a few minutes and then I get off. So, yesterday, well, okay. Let me just say that I have um, been really busy here, but I did end up getting all of Karen Reed's, all the documents that I have. I've got them in date order and then trying to coincide them with any of the trials, pre-motion hearings. And I figure if they're going to continue to, well, I don't even have the words for what they're doing to this family. If they're going to continue to pull this fiasco out of their hat, trying to convince anyone that Karen Reed is guilty of murdering Officer John O'Keefe, then I guess we need to go down and scrutinize everything, point it all out. Maybe somewhere somebody says will, help somewhere. I don't know what else to do. Um, but I also am so upset over what's going on in Canton. And if it weren't for, I'm so sorry, if it wasn't for what they're doing to Karen Reed, and if it wasn't for Aiden Kearney and his investigation into everything, um, we wouldn't know what was happening. But the problem is, because of Karen Reed, now we get to learn about what it's like in a part of America I didn't know existed. I I thought we all had freedom of speech. I thought we all had our rights. Yeah, I tell you what, Aiden. I'll be honest. With the more and more that goes on in this corrupt town, I truly worry for him. I really do. I personally wouldn't put anything past any of these people, and it's just it's flabbergasting to me. So I'm not gonna pretend that I'm great at knowing the legal system, the laws, and the correct way you do things, but I know that Governor Healy is supposed to be in charge of the entire state. So I keep waiting for Governor Healy to get involved and say enough is enough, right? Just, I mean, this is not just being shown in their area. I'm in Texas and I'm appalled. I'm appalled that people in the United States are being treated in this manner. I but I think more so, I was watching last night. I try to catch them. I'm a little behind on things. As I said, it's just things are calming down now, but we had a lot going on. But um, watching last night, literally, I was screaming at my computer. I was cursing at my computer. I even later tried to do a live because I thought I was going to be. See, that's so wrong at Doctor On Call. I mean, I would think that the governor would be concerned about what's happening to the people. I've just never seen such, last night watching the what is it, the committee for we're trying to get an audit for the police department. And, Bob, eh, eh, I wanted to kick him right in the man parts if he has any, because truly he sounded like a rude bully and absolutely no respect for anyone else. And it was like he dared them to vote differently, right? Because he's like, all right, let's put it to a vote. The two that you knew were going to be for it, and then oh Bob, whatever he votes, the other two go right along with him. All right, 3-2, next. When Kathleen, was it Kathleen? They kept calling her Ms. and her last name. I had it written down somewhere. And how rude is it when somebody says, um, "Oh my gosh, really?" See, but anyway, uh, I've got to go back to that. But um, you know, just common courtesy would be nice. And those people sitting on that committee that were against the two that are for finding out how corrupt the town is. I don't know what it is it's called in your state, but the select board needs to be gone. That needs to be obliterated. Just get rid of it, and whatever it is that can happen. I would think that other people in other towns would get involved. This is absolutely, I mean, this is a mockery in my opinion of everything that the United States actually stands for. This is not back when, you know, uh, the pilgrims came over and people didn't have rights. Those times set sail long, long ago. But it's like literally being in the twilight zone. And I understand there's corruption and problems everywhere, but when you are willing to do the stuff these people do, knowing full good and well there's recordings of what's happening, and they still continue to behave in this way. I don't know who it was that spoke up last night. I'm sure Doc on call and Miz, I'm gonna say that I bet y'all watch that. And one of the guys, when Kathleen, was just so upset about, yeah, it was. I don't know. He was, yeah, Miz. I'm like, but the thing is when Kathleen was talking about, the red solo cups and stuff, and that one person sat there and asked, well, what's the problem? And her response was, if you don't know, I'm not, really, what is the problem? He actually sat there and said he thought it was ingenious. Yeah, see, I don't believe that for 1 minute. There are people here. How, yeah, yeah. Well, the problem, I don't understand how they're not learning about it though, Doc, because hope I can just call you Doc. I like that, doctor on call. Um, how do people not know about it? I mean, isn't it in all the papers? Wow. Okay, so before I get super carried off, can y'all let me know if you hear me okay? And if, I don't know why it shows just one bar on this. Connection's unstable. That shouldn't be. Now it's good while I sit here and I'm plugged in. Okay. So the other thing that needs to really be addressed is Aiden Kearney. I I'm so sorry if I don't. Is it Kearney or is it Kearney or Kearney? I think it's. I don't have y'all's accent, but Turtle Boy. We, um, Turtle Boy, and what they've tried to do to him and the Canton Nine. I mean, it's like, I mean, people people in you know uh, the the movie business that write screenplays could not possibly come up with something like this because it is so far fetched. No one, no one would be able to believe it, right? And when he yeah, exactly. So I've got I don't know folks. I realize that I am, and I say it all the time. I have no problem admitting it. I don't know. Where's my note? What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know everybody that can help and who all we could call out and say, help somebody help, right? But and I know that I'm just small taters, and it has taken me forever just to get organized enough to do what I wanted to do for Karen Reed and her case. And when I sat and listened to this, I'm like, between Karen Reed, the or select board or whatever it's called, and Karen select board. Oh my goodness, bless her heart. The young girl, Sandra Birchmore, and Turtle Boy, the Canton Nine. All of these are innocent people that, for whatever reason, they just want to, what is it? What is it they want to do? I don't know. But somebody, it's not like the newspapers don't know. It's not like this. It's not like the news stations don't know. And it needs to be picked up. It needs to be on all news channels all over the United States. It really does because people don't know. And those in the state of Mass that don't know, um, I mean, what do we do? Do we call them out daily? Do we say, okay, we have Governor Healy. We have, oh gosh, the one thing that I can say, the other thing that just, it drives me crazy. It makes me almost sick. I mean, I literally, my heart, I'm an empath. I, I mean, I can cry because it hurts you. I can, but to sit there and just keep doing all this crappy stuff to Karen Reed and her family. And I'm to the point of, can we have one miracle for these folks, and that is that by Thanksgiving, I would love to see by Thanksgiving, if not Thanksgiving, at least Christmas, as the Reed families can actually celebrate a holiday. Karen can mourn her life for the last few years of what's been robbed of her, although she has a world of support behind her and people that love her that will never even get to meet her, you know? Uh, And then, I mean, look at Rita and Miss O'Donnell. And, I have watched them at the select board meetings, and I wasn't even into any of this until after the trial because prior to the trial, I wouldn't watch anything because I didn't want to have anything prejudged. I knew it was a controversial case, and the other thing that gets me is with, you cannot convince me that what happened to Sandra Birchmore has not happened to other children. When you have one person that's, are you allowed to say the word perverted? I hope you can say the word perverted, because it was sick, twisted mind, like to 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 have done what he did, and then to have the one that starts with a G, his last name. But yeah. Oh, I'm telling you what, when it's over, I hope Karen Reed and them sue every person that even had a thought of that was involved in what has been done to her. And the other thing is, I was I'm still dumbfounded over how this ever went to trial. And when I just recently read Trooper Proctor's account of everything that he swore to in order to be able to say that they had enough to, charge and arrest her. And I'm going to read that probably tomorrow, because I did I did it prior to um, tonight. We had planned to get a different computer. I was trying to use like a background so you don't see my entire messy room, because my room basically is where I am. Grandkids and my daughter, and I mean they're all through the house, so I can bring it in here. But the thing that I don't understand is how it even got to trial. And now they talk about this other whoop-de-doo DA, and if he has even an ounce of integrity, but then after hearing what Turtle Boy said about him, it's like, no, he's right in bed with these other folks. He's right in bed with them. Whatever, and I never, oh, he is so sick. And what happened to Rita yesterday? I mean, I watched as much as I could of that vile meeting. Arrested? Were they actually arrested, or were they just asked to leave the premises? Because they had an opinion. They opened their mouth in a public meeting, but they weren't actually, what was the word? They weren't recognized to speak. I mean, Bob sat on his totem like he was, um, yeah, but then they asked the police. There was something about the police too, and then said whatever the guy in the audience, whoever he was, they told her to get. But I mean, when does it stop? Okay, so the thing is, I'm just all over the place. The thing about Sandra Birchmore case, there has to be other victims, right? There has to be no perverted, sick, vile human that did the things to Sandra only had one victim. So were the other ones paid off, or were they just killed and nobody knew? I'm going to guess they were probably, as they call, or in their minds think, expendable, like possibly in the foster system, so to speak, where unfortunately children do disappear. And in that town, yeah, I can, yeah, be in a heartbeat. You can, when they sat on that stage last night and said, do you believe anybody or trust anybody? And I'm thinking, dude, I'm all the way in here in Texas, and I don't trust a single one of you. I don't, I trust Rita. I trust Miss O'Donnell. I trust Karen Reed, Yannetti. Obviously, without a doubt, Karen Reed's team, Turtle Boy, I mean, it's like it's so slim on the folks I trust. But the problem is, no, I've never in my life seen anything like this. That's why I'm saying it's, you know, the older I got or get, and this year for some reason has been a real hard year for me. Maybe it's, I mean, you always know you're immortal, but at a certain age, you start going, "Wow, thank you." So I'm appreciative every day I wake up because I don't want to leave my grandbabies and my daughter, but at my age, no, no. And I grew up when in Texas when you know uh, I we lived with a community of all different races, right? And even though it was so very long ago, I was blinded to what what can happen in that. I won't even have discussions on that because it's gotten, nowadays so out of control and out of hand. But, you know, I grew up during some really difficult times for people of many different walks of life. And this is this is 2024. These people live in the United States of America, and they act as though they are protected by, the highest almighty presence that can keep them protected forever. So just how far up is this corruption? I mean, so what are the choices? Well, I believe anybody that has any information, or if you're a victim of anything in that area, if you have any proof of any type of corruption that has taken place and you have been made to be deathly afraid to open your mouth, call Josh Levy at the FBI. He has integrity. He has integrity. And I firmly believe that uh, I can't believe this is going to actually go. Shocking horror, horror. I can't believe that they can say with a straight face that they're going to retry her. I'm dumbfounded, dumbfounded. Every last one of those people, including Bev, who sits on that stand, who you'd have to be blind to not see her biases. And if she's not related to those people, well, she's into something with those people. Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to play the trial and we're going to watch. But in the back of my mind, one thing that stuck out to me with, I hate to say her name to give her any credit, but the Jen person, what really stuck in my mind is her behavior on the stand. And it was like if the judge said something to her once and she went, okay, what was it? She wasn't answering right or whatever. And oh, yeah, Bev is sick. But the funny thing is, Jim McCabe isn't afraid of Bev. As a matter of fact, she didn't even act like she had respect for the fact she was sitting on a bench. It was like, what was it that was said? And she was, it was one of those times. Well, it's hard to pinpoint which one because she was so combative with everything, right? She argued with everything that the defense brought up. Now, the prosecution, she had perfect memory, could tell you verbatim what was said, no problem. With the defense, she either didn't remember or the defense said it wrong, not using the correct verbiage. And, can I see it? Most people don't have to see a report to remember the truth. if something, no one expected exact verbiage, but they did expect that what came out of her mouth each and every time would be exact meaning. At least to me, that's, in my mind, I'm like, wow. Yeah, can I see it? Can I see it? What did, can you say da da da? Did I say that? Can I see it? And at one time he's just standing there going, I'm just asking you a question. I mean, you remember it? How do you not remember it? How do you not? So we have that. But then look at the mentality of these people, because that display of crap last night, everybody that is in a town in this state of Mass, I'm too tired to keep trying to say it correctly. Um, if you have select boards, please go to the only thing I know to tell you. I'm sure there's, someplace else you can view it, but they need good subs. They need good attention. They're awesome. Go to the Young Jerks, JURKS, because they put up every one of um, the select board meetings. The select board now is so chicken shit that they have to do their meeting by Zoom. And that all started after the verdict. And the animosity, the hatred, the vitriol, I'm in Texas and I can feel the tension in those rooms. But instead of listening to the people and seeing the outcry and even caring, what they did was they put the meeting in Zoom. Now, mind you, what good is the select board meeting? What good is it for you to attend and open your mouth? Because number one, there's only 15 minutes total for the public to speak. One person can't go over 3 minutes. If you go over 3 minutes, he's going to tell you, but you know what else he can do? Now that he's got Zoom, man's got power. He can just cut you off right then. And don't think for 1 second that's not what they do. Would someone please excuse me and tell me what in the holy hell? At my age, if I was in one of those public meetings and I was there, I'd be, Rita would be having to bail my ass out of jail all the time, because nobody is going to tell me that I've only got 3 minutes. And these are taxpayers. They're paying everybody's salary. They don't care. They don't care that children are being killed and people are lying about what was and was not on a phone. So we have Governor Healy, we have the FBI. Now, the FBI, those are, to me, trust them, trust them. Go to the FBI, get in touch with Josh Levy. Somebody has to know something. And the other thing is that the murder of John O'Keefe, somebody has to know something about that too, because it happened in the house. Karen Reed was back home and she was hooked back up to Wi-Fi for everyone to see that she wasn't there. There's no way that she could have hit Officer John O'Keefe and left him to die. For, when you have little blood droplets, what was it, 7 feet, 15 feet from where she supposedly hit him, but none in between? But then again, remember, folks, he flew through the air, according to Trooper Paul, but not actually flew through the air. I mean, crime scenes talk to me all the time. Give me a phone ring and get me in there. I was, and still am, flabbergasted that this was not across the board, 100% not guilty, done, finished, and gone. And then I listened to the things Aiden says about what the interviews have been with the jurors, And it's like, oh my God, I'm right. Lowry confused the hell out of everybody so badly that they couldn't get it right, right? I mean, you know, Doc, I would say that I felt sorry for Trooper Paul, but because of his comment on the stand of watching it on court TV, and immediately he had this, he knew, and you could tell that he wanted to be in the limelight. He wanted to be considered an expert, and he was willing to get up there and make a complete fool of himself for these crooked cops. And he needs to be fired too. Every single person that was involved in the Karen Reed case, and every single person that was involved in Sandra Birchmore case, that was supposedly doing the investigation, need to be relieved of duty. Proctor's, um, they came back on that one dude and said that it wasn't his fault. He wasn't responsible that Proctor was saying all this garbage to him, and because he was on vacation. If he wouldn't have been on vacation, then he would have reprimanded him. Is there anything else we can lie about? Because I guarantee you, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what it is. If they disagree with it because it's going to lead to the truth, and the truth is the corruption, what is it they do? Lie. Do they care if the lie makes sense? No. Do they care if anybody can back up the lie? Well, hey, they got their buddies covering their asses, right? I mean, yeah, exactly. And you know what? My husband gets vacations too. Don't tell me they don't look at their phones. These guys that wear the same damn shoes and pants, are you going to tell me that they can go away on a vacay and not keep in touch with their buds? No way. Mm-mm. But then again, we have police officers in the town of Canton, Mass, making $250,000 a year. Where I live, police officers and school teachers make about the same, and they're not paid well. I've always thought they were very underpaid, but in Canton, Mass, for a cop to make 250 grand, and 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 get this, not only do they make 250 grand, they don't know how to process a crime scene. I mean, are you kidding me? But this is supposed to make sense. I mean, how could anybody sit in the jury and not, you know, oh, well, we just didn't know how to process it. And oh, wait a minute. Um if I were Trooper Paul, I think I'd go get me a job at Whataburger before they found out who I was, because flipping burger is going to be about the only thing you can do, Paul. I mean, you know, when you sell your soul to the devil, you do have prices to pay, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. And this select board, that they had a lot to do with who was put on that committee for the audit that they're asking for the police. And the funny thing is they're bickering because their cutoff is 200,000. And I mean, um, what was it, Helena Rafferty? Was it 200,000 or 250,000? She was wanting her kitchen remodel done. Yeah, I doubt he's capable. If he can't, you know, why in the world, how in the world can Bev get away with the calls that she made during court, pre-motion, trial, any of this that was shown, televised, where others can see? surely somebody has some strength to say, you're not gonna be judging this trial. You're done. You're done. And we're in the middle of investigating your ass. But no, you're not gonna. Because if the jury would have been able to know that the FBI actually paid for those experts, then they would have believed that they could actually believe in the experts. Yeah, I don't know who she answers to, DC, but I will say that I think, if nothing else, okay, the one thing that, if nothing else, I think the Department of Justice and I think the governor of Mass, right? And I know because I've looked this up, the only person that can get the governor of Mass to do anything, or they can step into the state and get involved, is only the vice president of the United States and the president of the United States. And that's for any state, if they wanted to step in because the governor's not taking care of their people. And when I heard, and now we have this young man that apparently they're just trying to snowball the family, because how do you die of a broken neck going through school to be a trooper? So this is my guess. Excuse me, but I've thought about it quite a bit. And if you put pieces of the puzzle together to try to make it add up, because see, that's the one thing none of us know is what happened, why. And we can all speculate so many different things. So I'm going to say, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you, DC. Enrique Delgado. I hope that he gets justice, because that young man, in my humble opinion, was taken out of the fray. What could he have done? He was just in school. I mean, but let's go back. Trooper Proctor, right, is a slime bag that none of his bosses bothered to even, you know what, ladies, gentlemen, whoever, I need to pause this for a minute, and I don't know how. Oh, I'm going to put it, you know what? I don't have any music or anything, but I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, and I'm just going to put my cow out, and I'll be right back. And I'm so sorry. So I hope y'all hang out, because I got lots more to say, but I'll be back. Oh, hey, I'm so sorry, y'all. I've got to figure out how to do music, but I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I had to run to the ladies' room too, so that's where and then take a fast drink and went outside and had a couple puffs on cigarettes because I hadn't finished smoking, even though I should be finished smoking. So I'm gonna kind of forget where I was at. I know that, but hello, Mother of Vincent LePew. I saw you earlier. I should have said hi, and I know I said hi to Ms., but it was quiet. I'm so sorry. I don't think I said hi to DC, but I did. Um, I did notice when they told me about Enrique. Um, I feel so disrespectful when I forget names, but my age, I can be talking to one grandchild, calling it another grandchild. But oh, and today, let me share with y'all. So, and this wasn't all my fault. So, my my daughter's children are the younger ones. My son's got his youngest child is almost 17, and then he's got two grown bonus daughters, and my daughter's got the young ones. So um, the oldest granddaughter, she lives with Mama here. Um, every other week, and then she lives with Dada. She still calls her dad Dada, and she just turned 10. I think that's so cool. But she had her birthday, and the last weekend that she was here, like I said, it's every other. So the weekend before this that she was here, it was the weekend before her birthday. And so we thought, we're going to go ahead and give her her birthday present so she can have it, enjoy it for a whole week. And so she's not just, going to have to open it and 2 days later go to Dada's. So we did. We got the bearded dragons and the setup and all that. And then this weekend, her and then my daughter's boyfriend has a daughter that is a year and a few weeks older than my oldest granddaughter. And their birthdays are like 2 weeks apart. So they're doing a birthday together this weekend. And so we decided we were going to get try to get stuff for like a mini facial or whatever these kids do. And the most hysterical thing is, oh, bless his heart, Delgado Garcia, 25. That's my granddaughter. My oldest bonus granddaughter is 25. So we go to town. We had these errands to do, and my daughter's boyfriend was gonna pick up the daughter from school after he picked up his daughter. I don't know what happened to us, but all of a sudden we finished at Target, and I don't even remember where we were going to go because the 3-year old was hungry. And when she gets hungry, she's like a repetitive sound. Hungry, hungry, mama, hungry, hungry, nana, hungry, nana, hungry, mom. I mean, literally just like that. You tell me you can concentrate with that, right? Um, so we go to the closest little restaurant. We went to Cheddar's. It was the closest restaurant to where we were. We just pulled in. We're sitting there. We had just gotten our food a little bit, and we got us an appetizer, the chips and spinach dip. We kind of like that. And then we got fried chicken salads, and we're just sitting there. Her and her boyfriend had text, I mean, stuff going on. And all of a sudden, she looks at me and she goes, "Oh crap, Mom, I forgot Cam." My grandson rides the bus home after school. He's only in second grade. So we were like, oh my God. So I'm messaging neighbors, hey, because he's always been told if we're not there, because they don't drop them at the house there. It's like at the entrance of our subdivision is where they drop the kiddos. So he had to, he had to go in a different way. And my neighbor across the street was watching for him for us. But we made it within, I want to say, 3 minutes. Well, as we're trying to rush out of the restaurant, get our bill, get to go boxes because our food we didn't eat. The people behind us, they had an extra to go box, so they gave it to us, and then they told us that, it happens that then they've got a grandson that they left in a park on a bench, and he's now 14, and he tells them all the time. He gives them a hard time about leaving him there. So anyway, we just had one heck of a day, and my my computer. It's a long story, but got me a new one, and my daughter gets my old one, and I thought I could use the backgrounds, but so you don't have to see all this, and I'm going to have to get a green screen, which I think is something that attaches to my chair from what my husband said. And people at work told him about it, but it was so funny. But I, I've just been too busy. Well, on everything that I have laid out to cover for Karen Reed is it like in one file on my computer and under Karen Reed's name, I have 197 things that I had to put in, chronological order by date. There's years, and then I looked to find any um, any court dates around the dates of all the filings I had. And then we had to go. We went near Houston to see my aunt, which sadly I haven't seen her in about 3 years, and so she bought a new house, and so we went to see that. So I mean, it's just been crazy. And so each night I was trying to record something so that I could just play it, as a premiere. And so the day that I was reading Trooper Proctor's, it's not an affidavit, but whatever, his sworn statement with all his evidence, proving, the reason that they should be able to arrest Karen Reed and convict her, dumbass. And I got all the way to the last 2 pages. I was running them. I was reading. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I don't remember. I think it was Matthew um, McCabe, and the oh, okay, thanks, DC. But Matthew McCabe had uh, there was a portion, and I'm reading something, and the next sentence made absolutely no sense. I didn't remember him saying that in court. So I get 2 more pages, and then I look at the bottom and realize that the pages were scanned in apparently out of order. I was reading them out of order. So that was a good 45 minutes I'd done that. There was something I was doing regarding, more information on Karen Reed, and I put something up and I forgot to put the redacted side of it up. So I had all these things I was doing because it's just driving me crazy. So last night I was going to do the videos, and lo and behold, they had that meeting in Canton. It was like watching it, and I'm honest to goodness dumbfounded. When I was growing up, the news was different. So, you know, for all the news reporters regarding I would think any reporter would be behind Aiden Kearney, because what's happening to him could happen to them. And that is, they're trying to, no, because Chris Albert wasn't on this was the committee. It wasn't the actual select board. It was the committee, where they're wanting to do the audit on the police. So Chris Albert wasn't there this time because he's not on that committee. Now, that doesn't mean that the committee hasn't already given their input and guidance, in my opinion, to Mr. Rude Bob and the other two rude men. You could tell. I mean, it's like you knew that if Bob voted no, his cronies were going to vote no too. Right. The news didn't used to be so biased. And the thing is let's find some integrity, people. Investigative journalism. You guys go to school for this, right? You want to have a Pulitzer Prize. You want to be big. But yet things like this, we have Aiden Kearney, Turtle Boys, the only person that's reporting the truth when it comes to this case. Now I know Vinnie Politan is. Uh, as strong as he can on Karen Reed's side. Vinnie Politan, though, he used to get on the wrong side. The bottom line is, if they stop putting their personal feelings in these cases and look at the evidence, like who is that one lady, Julie Grant? Is that who she is? I think. I cannot stand her. She's the one that accused Maya Kowalski of not having that horrific, painful disease that she has. Said she was faking it. hmm She lost her mother because her mother felt that the only way to save her daughter from the clutches of the state of Florida's, um, it was like a CPS, but they have different, some people call them DCF and stuff like that. Her mom took herself out of the equation. So, yeah, Bev's feelings were definitely evident, but so are the people on these select boards and this one for trying to get an audit for the police. So this is what I say. Yes, thank you, DC. Oh, I am so sorry. CRPS. This young lady has CRPS, and because she had some good days and acted like a teenager on a few of them, a few years after her mom died, they tried to say she didn't suffer. Anyway, it's a very long story. If you don't know the story behind it, it's Maya Kowalski. Definitely something to watch. Crooked, crooked, crooked prosecution, and so crooked that they think that they can just hold out forever. So, I want to see news coverage that includes the version of truth, that includes somebody doing like Aiden, like Turtle Boy, coming up with receipts. If these people would just get Turtle Boy on their program and he can lay out, all the things that he knows is wrong. Because what he does is when they make these stupid ass accusations, he goes out to see whether it can or not. Like the where they said yes, complex regional pain syndrome. And that let me just say, and I jump all around, I'm so sorry. That particular disease is known to be one of the most painful, and I don't remember if it's called a disease or they have specific words for everything, but It's supposed to be the most excruciating pain known to a human, from my understanding of it. And you put that kind of pain in a child. And then you have somebody like, I believe it was Julie Grant. I have to look it up. I can't stand her. Am I right, DC? Was it Julie Grant? I've never liked her anyway. But the thing is you can normally tell who the guilty party is in a case by Julie Grant. If I'm thinking of the right one, I'm pretty sure I am. I mean, it's so late and I'm tired that I'm probably making a mistake. But y'all, it's been forever since I've been on here. Thank you. So it is her. So Julie Grant, I mean, I loathe her. And in all honesty, if oh wow. Hi Ernie Birdie. How you doing? Pain syndrome, new research is showing that it's probably an autoimmune based. You know what? That makes a lot of sense because of the nerves and everything. I didn't realize I had a family member get sick. Well, not sick. He has an issue, and it ended up being an autoimmune disease. So at least, but the other thing that they said it was a misdiagnosis, and for I don't know about 4 months, we're told that he had ALS. So autoimmune disease was a blessing over the other. We'll take it any day. Wow. You know, it's just amazing. And the thing is, I don't know how old your daughter is or anything, DC, but um, be it a child or being an adult, either one, but a child just, I can't imagine a child. I mean, we're talking pain worse than giving birth. We're talking pain worse than, I mean, there's the pain is so bad. They actually called this um, uh, the S disease, where you take yourself out of the equation because the pain's just where you can't. So what we have going on in Canton, um, my plan is I'm gonna, not that I think I'm gonna make a world of difference, but you know what? I got to give it a shot, and even if I can't, at least I can go through this. And oh, bless her heart, at 21 and a runner. Oh my heavens. Bless her. Bless you too. You know, there's nothing worse than us watching our children suffer ever. I'm so sorry to hear that, DC. I hope that she's not suffering or is in remission, or has a very good plan for what is needed for her. I'm so sorry. And let me just say, going back to the CRPS, when, oh, he's a star, everybody loves him. Oh my gosh. I know y'all are all sitting here going, Nana, why do you think you can get on here and have a conversation when you can't remember names? Um, Perry, and, bless his heart, he had drug issues, he had all kinds of issues. And the defense tried to tie his death because of ketamine to the Maya Kowalski incident, because Maya Kowalski ketamine treatment is something they did, very controversial and all this. And basically, she was taken away from her family because the doctors didn't believe the child should be receiving the type of treatment she was receiving, all even though it was given by medical doctors. It's not like her parents went out and decided that they were going to try this newfangled thing that they read about on the internet. This is a situation where an actual doctor, practicing medicine um, had come up with that. It's just horrible. Wow, that is actually amazing. That that is awesome, DC. But that pain is it's horrible. It's horrible. And when Julie Grant, I believe Maya was 9 or 10. I mean, we're talking young child when she went into the hospital. She went in because of pain. They didn't hide what was being done to her, and because John Hopkins Children's Hospital did not believe that that was the right way to treat her. They said she was faking it, all kinds of different things. They even tried to set her up. They put her toilet so far away from the bed that there was no way she could reach it without assistance, and she had to bodily excretion on herself because they didn't care. And no, they didn't like the mom. The mom was originally Poland, I believe she came from. So her fears of law enforcement. Um, oh, I bet you could, DC. I bet you could. Because hardly anybody's even heard of that disease. So, anyway, my deal is I've just been missing everybody. I like getting on just to say something. I was having some fun doing that, and I am going to. It's either tomorrow or Sunday. I'm going to start doing the Karen Reed videos, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to split them up, but I'm going way back, and we're going to find whatever we can that from what Proctor wrote, and God, I wish we could get a hold of the grand jury testimonies. That would just be awesome. But the one thing I do know is this state is in it's in my country, right? My country, the United States of America. So, aw, thanks, guys. Yeah, I was just busy. I think I've got just about everything straightened up now. But let's see. And I was trying. It was really funny because we got the computer thinking that it would help me so that I could use the ability, to, like I said, to not have my stuff showing on the internet. So anyway, we're gonna buy a green screen thing. I mean, to me, it's like, why can't I just put up a green fabric? Maybe I could do that. Lord knows I've got fabric. See those boxes over there? My aunt, I just went down to Houston, and all those are full of fabric that my aunt gave me because she's just getting to where she just doesn't sew as often. Bless her. And I've got to get that straightened out. But I'm going to be able to do my videos. I'm figuring it out a little better. We don't have the noise of the fan. Um, y'all stick with me, and eventually I'll, not sound like a blooming idiot. Tonight, the reason I just was like, I mean, somebody could always point out the video to Governor Healy and put it on the exact spot and say, we got people all over America. We got people all over the world wondering what we are. And that stupid jackass, excuse me. Well, come on, Sassy. There go. That's my dog. You can get on the bed. You want up on the bed? You can get on the bed. You can get up there. But to have them say the things that they said and sat there and said they thought it was basically ingenious to use a leaf blower, red Solo cups, and a brown paper bag from Stop and Shop that heaven only knows what was in. Literally said that on a broadcasted thing. And we're not sending anybody down there, even that. I mean, really, it's just like when they got up and took offense to when people asked, "Did you go in the house?" No. Why would we? Why would we think to go in the house where there's basically a dead man? No, really? I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, see, I'm so behind because the other thing we did was get new phones. So I want y'all to know I've got to find all the stuff with all the logins, putting all the stuff. Oh my goodness. Ernie Birdie, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to watch that. There's so many that I need to watch. No, I don't know how I made it to okay, well I'll go check it out. Thanks, Ernie. I guess I could do it now. I mean, has everybody seen what she's talking about? The thing that gets me is God, I forgot what I was saying. That comes with that. Man, I can just be talking and just go bloop right out the ear. But where did my mind go? Well, where can it be? Let's see. I'll see. Oh, yeah, and I've got quite a bit of stuff to figure out, but I don't know why. Hey, did y'all watch the teenager? Um, Mississippi versus Carly Gregg. Did y'all see that? What am I typing in here? Aussie. Because that was something else. Okay, let me go to her. You know what? I don't understand. I am subscribed to a lot of different channels, and I even have the notifications on, and I'm going into it, and the notifications are turned off every time. So I'm not getting it, and maybe that's why I just Aussie Insiders one of them. Let's see. Um, I don't understand what this is. Status date 9. Okay, hold on. Let's share the. Where's the Aussie Insider? Here we go. Yeah, that was. All right, folks. So, Aussie Insider. She really is good. If you haven't seen her, go. I'm sure everybody has, but if you haven't, here is Aussie Insider. She's got some really cool videos. More good news. Karen's appeal will now be heard by a full panel of SJC judges, not one single judge. If the stats hold up, we're looking at 90% of the panel falling in favor of Team Reed. This will be history changing. I don't know what yeah, what's going to happen to Beverly? Something needs to happen to Beverly. And what about the crap that they're trying to pull on Aiden Kearney and the Canton Nine? You know, and now I'm sure everybody has heard that it's not just the Canton Nine. There have been other people that they've gone after, including um, Bukaki thinks that he can intimidate people. I thought they were appointed, but I'm going to have to Google it again because, my memory goes whoop out the window. But Bukaki intimidated or I'm going to say, in my opinion, he's harassing citizens that somehow or another upset. Oh, I think having more than one judge is an awesome idea. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think that this is absolutely insane. I mean, I think what's going to happen, the world is sitting here watching, right? And if they don't uphold, if they don't give Karen Reed a not guilty verdict and understand ha- like I said, with the new DA coming on, right? How can he even possibly even consider going to trial again? They have no evidence. What they have is Katie McLaughlin and Jennifer McCabe, you know, saying Karen Reed said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. And everybody else says, oh, Jen, who did I say? Oh, I said, did I say Carrie? Oh, Lord. See, Carrie, I mean, I, some of these people, did they lie, or was it just because they listened to what was coming out of somebody else's mouth? You know, I just don't know. But Karen Reed, oh, okay. I thought, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So the Karen Reed, bless her. I want to see her get justice. I want to see her get justice. I mean, justice for Karen Reed. It's not just being found not guilty. Justice for Karen Reed is getting every one of these corrupt mothers in deep trouble. Well, hey, my person's monkey. Oh, it's okay. It's kind of late. I'm sitting here going, wow, I'm gonna have to run soon because tomorrow's a busy day and I've got some videos I wanted to do. But we got. It's good to see you. And let's see, what is this? Reserved and reported to the full court 9/19/2024. I don't know what any of that means, but that's just awesome. I mean, just the fact, I just can't believe that people with the knowledge of the law would not be finished with this probably within reading. Really and honestly, they just need to read Proctor's dumbass deposition or whatever, and then they need to just read a few other things and find out. I mean, he swears that he had solid evidence. Nothing had been tested. Nothing had, and I want to know, definitely. Oh, absolutely, Ernie Birdie. I was curious about it. Yeah, any information. So I'm not one of the people that won't share or won't give credit to another creator. I just want to say YouTuber, but that's my girl. She's sassy pants. She'll start scraping up all the cupboard. Nope, she's behaving okay. Usually she gets on the bed and she scruffs it all up before we get in. She's on my husband's side because my side's on this side, and she usually won't scruff my side, but she'll scruff his side. It's so funny. But yeah, the thing with Karen Reed is I want to see her. I want to see her get justice. And the video that I did where I read what that one attorney said, that's an advertisement for his business. And that's how he talked about Karen Reed and her team. And I was like, but when Turtle Boy excuse me, finds out something that's the truth and then goes and asks somebody about it, he's harassing people. You know, see, I never heard that, obviously, because I didn't pay any attention in the beginning, but I guess I'm going to find that out when I go back through the pretrial or listen to, and I'm still catching up on articles from Turtle Boy. So, but what I guess the main thing is somebody one day, and I guess I'm going to figure out how to do a short video where I just say it, but it's like somebody somewhere that has some authority needs to get involved. Reporters need to get involved because you know what? It could be you. If you're a reporter, this could happen to you. So we have Boston Globe, Boston Herald, WCVB, we have WBZN or WBZ News Radio, we have NBC 10 Boston, Patriot Ledger, we have got the FBI, we have got Department of Justice, we have got DOJ needs to get involved. Actually, I know that the governor could step in and do something, and you know, I don't know how what a judge would have to do to actually be removed from the bench, but I think Beverly's days are done, in my opinion. I mean, nobody. How can people who knew absolutely nothing about the case watch the trial and feel exactly the same as people that have been involved from the very beginning, or people that used to support the McAlberts and they actually heard the truth on Karen Reed's side and decided, yeah, the McAlberts are full of it. And, that trial didn't have to be 8 weeks. I think it was just Lally wanting attention and wanting to confuse people because it could have been a lot faster. We don't need to know what you drank, what you ate, who your favorite basketball team is. If you and your wife have sex more than 4 times a week, what color underwear are you wearing tonight? And who were you sitting across from at the basketball game? If we didn't, I think we could have survived without those questions, Lally. And it wasn't just asking it once, asked it of every person that got up there. But he never asked any of his witnesses how it is that when Karen Reed left 34 Fairview, it was just starting to stick to the ground, right? And I can't believe that the US DOJ hasn't said somebody needs to do something. Okay, receivership. That's the word. Thank you, my person's monkey. That's the word. I got to write it down because I keep forgetting. Yeah, I got to write it down. So, receivership. You are a lifesaver because I keep going, what is that? But, see, Lord, now I forgot what I was saying. I will say I've already had my medicine to go to sleep. I am tired, but hold on. I'm so embarrassed now. And there's not a reverse, so it's not like I can listen to myself and see. Are you serious, Ernie Birdie? They make $1 million to prosecute Karen, but the committee doesn't want to pay more than $200,000 for their police department to be audited. They're going to end up having riots in Canton. Mm. I'm so sorry. I hope that wasn't so loud. I mean, Well, I don't think he believes the lie. Turtle Boy was talking about him being involved in some crooked shenanigans before. So he's just a crook who doesn't care, I'm guessing. Because there is no way that somebody with integrity gets the information that they have on Karen Reed, or the lack of information regarding Karen Reed, and goes to trial. Oh, that's what. Okay, so let me go back to my issue with. I have a lot of issues, but one that I cannot get over is we have cops sitting on the stand. We have EMT sitting at. Nobody seems to think there's a big deal that there's a man dead on a lawn in front of a house. Nobody thinks to go to the homeowners and ask if they know the man that's dead on the yard. Do you know how he got there? Nor did they bother to check to see if the people in the house were safe. So, number one, here's your sign. Number one. There's a lot of here's your signs in this, but number one, here's your sign. That would be Jennifer McCabe, in my humble opinion, which I'm allowed to have and state anytime I want to, which includes in Texas, which includes on YouTube, or I could even come and get a bullhorn and just yell it out in front of your house, which you would have me arrested for because I was intimidating a witness of a trial because I voiced my opinion. You see, people there that voice their opinions, they exactly, not one concern opening that door. I tell you what, if that would have been my situation, I most likely would have been rather hysterical myself. Not only for my friend, who I would have identified as a Boston police officer, because for one, I want your asses out here with the top notch everything to find out what has happened to him. Nobody seems to be bothered by the fact that she didn't offer up that info. Nobody seems to be bothered by the fact that, for basically, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but John O'Keefe was dead on the front lawn. They tried to revive him. She didn't bat an eye going into that house. She didn't bat an eye. That should say it for anybody watching this trial. Really? There is a dead man on the lawn of your sister's home that you know, because you know that he was in that house. And she even said at one point she left him, or he got out. He got out of the car or something like that. I'll be reading it in the next couple of days. He got out of the car. So she doesn't care. She doesn't care. But come on, DOJ, come on. I know the FBI is working, and the FBI can't wait. Right, the blue lights outside of the house. I've said all along. I mean, it happened to me the night before Thanksgiving one year. A high school student got in a motorcycle wreck. He ended up in front of my house. His bike ended up 2 houses down. And his helmet, I don't remember where it was. And as I was running outside, I'm screaming to my husband to call 911. He's following me because I'm not even thinking about it. I just know somebody has been hurt and they're in front of my house. That's all I knew. And the blue lights that showed up, no sirens because it was super late, and I guess that's why they didn't use the sirens, but the blue lights had people coming out of their houses. But, if you're the McAlberts, that doesn't bother you. If you're the McAlberts, you have a German Shepherd who's not the friendliest in the world, but yet doesn't alert to something happening in your front yard. No, no, not buying that either. But I really think, I think Nettie or Jackson need to just really, I don't think that anybody made a good enough point of, and Jim McCabe just waltzes right in, not afraid of anything, not concerned that the people inside the house might be harmed, not concerned that she was going to get hurt or killed walking in that door. She had no concern whatsoever. She just did it. And it's like, oh, and what was it? The other thing? So no concern at all. This I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Jen McCabe never said that in the very beginning. And when she wants to use the fact she's in shock and horror, she does. But she never, she wasn't saying I was in shock. That's the thing. She wasn't saying it. But I really do wonder why is this not being reported by mainstream media for exactly what it is? Why does our mainstream media not bother to give the facts? Because they're in cahoots or because they're afraid? I mean, that Tellis that was convicted of killing a journalist. There's going to be more and more of that happening if people tell the truth. So people just they don't want to put themselves in harm's way because they don't know, either they don't know how deep it goes or they do know how deep it goes. Either which way, they don't want to be seen. But when you're a law enforcement officer and you're sitting on a stand and you're acting like it's no big deal that there was a dead man on a lawn, there's no reason to go into that house. So you run across the street. You can't go to the house that the dead body's on his lawn. You go across the street to your other buddy police officer and you get red Solo cups and you get brown paper bags. And what you don't get, what you don't get is that cop offering to come on over and help. Oh, and you don't get his Ring video camera either. You know why we don't have their video cameras? Because the video cameras do not show Karen Reed hitting John O'Keefe. Yeah, that's a good question. Who was Jen speaking to when she was heard on John O'Keefe's voicemail? The reason I think is it had to have been her sister, because her sister's the one that she called and it lasted longer. And then they tried to say, well, you can't really say much in 20 seconds. I myself have timed 20 seconds. It's amazing the crap you can say, whether you speak normally, then get a bunch out, or obviously if you speak fast. So if you speak really fast, you can get a whole bunch out. But I can't, I mean, these are the things that make me go, are you kidding me? So these police officers sit on a stand and swear that, no, there was no what reason would we have for wanting to go into the house? Well, I don't know, dumbass. Maybe to see if the other people in the house are still living. But if you're not worried about if the people in the house are still living, then you already know they had something to do with it, right? And there was have y'all heard the two? I don't know how to do this. I've got two two just audio recordings of after the call came in regarding a man. Just makes me angry. A man is in the snow. He's in the snow, right? One of the recordings is exactly Ernie Birdie. One of the recordings is actually Lieutenant, what was his name? Um, okay, I guess that should be when I hang up. But the lieutenant called and he said his message was short and it was asking the person who answered the phone to either open or close the Sally port. And the person said, okay. Now, before that, I don't know who called in to the police office, but somebody called in and they asked what was going on Fairview. They said the lieutenant wanted to know, or somebody wanted to know, and the response was they didn't. Oh, that a report had been called in for 32 Fairview. The response from the caller was, "Oh, good, it wasn't even his house." So that's in my, you know, I don't know that I'll be able to figure it out, but I am going to write down the exact words and it'll be in that video when I start going through stuff. But I mean, are you kidding me? Or really? And to to make 250 grand a year and not know how to conduct an investigation in the snow when you live in the state of Mass is pretty unbelievable. I hope that they don't pay you a pension. If you're up for one, I hope, can't you pull people back? You find out these people have been crooked for years and years. Can't you pull it back? Can't you say, you know what, yeah, we gave it to you, but you're not worthy of it. You're not going to get it anymore. Instead, we're going to send your ass to jail for a while. But let's see what they have shown us so far. So far, they've shown us that it is okay if you live in Canton and you are a McAlbert. It is okay if you go drinking and get so drunk that you don't know where you left your badge or your gun. But then you find that the gun was left in what? The police department vehicle's car, police department's car. And then what they do is they give you, was it 3 months of paid leave while they investigated it? Yeah, good. He's something else. He's something else. The other question that I have, Karen Reed leaves. It's snow is just starting to stick to the ground. I've started here and then I keep forgetting, but I'm going to blood spatters. Y'all remind me if I go, what? Because I need a drink. Karen Reed leaves. She is connected to the Wi-Fi at One Meadows Ave. Was it 12:36 a.m.? That's according to their expert. that's what's so funny, because it's kind of hard to have her connected to the Wi-Fi at One Meadows and then turn around and put Jennifer McCabe on the stand. And she's very specific about these because they've got the times of these text messages. And she swore under oath, penalty perjury, all that stuff, that she said she texted John O'Keefe and said hello, I guess with a question mark, right? And then saw Karen Reed pull away. That was at 12:45 a.m. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. She was already home. She was gone. She was home. I mean, somebody should have, just absolutely just banged on that one, because, and there is no way that every single one of those people walked out of the house and did not see a dead body on the lawn. Bye, Mother Vincent LePew. God bless you. Have a blessed day. So I'm not real sure what I think of all that, but then Lowley, during the trial, he kept talking about how deep the snow was, how much it had snowed, how horrible the winter blizzard mix was, and, the visibility. Well, the problem is the visibility and the heavy snow came quite a while after Karen Reed left. And John O'Keefe, there was no blood spatter anywhere around except for just right around his body. So he gets in the middle of the yard somehow. Nobody knows how. And there's blood spatter, little specks. The weather is freezing. The snow is falling. The blood is so, it's going to freeze within just a few moments of hitting the ground, which tells you it is not going to then start absorbing and rising up into the snow. It would sink down, but it's not going to just, they said they had to the leaf blower just took off a light dusting of snow, right? And they saw the blood drops. It was way too high up. Everything tells you that he was not in that yard from the time Karen Reed left. And the tow truck driver, good Lord Almighty, you would think I would stop saying tow truck. The plow truck driver. But why don't we believe him? I'm not real sure. So receivership, yes. How do you get someone in receivership? How do you do that? Because that's what needs to happen. Come on, Governor Healy, you can at least do that much, right? Can't Governor Healy do that? Can't she put that town in receivership? Because the people on the select board, they're only doing what they want to do. They think it's okay that the people on the committee for the audit, they don't want that audit done. They don't want all the bad coming out, but they're going to try. But Governor Healy, you see what's going on in this town. This town is in your state. Your state is in my country. my country, and the people in your state are entitled to my rights because they're in my country. But your law enforcement is not of this country. It's not of protecting people. It's not. It's definitely you don't care about anybody's rights. And I tell you what, Mark Betterow, y'all just think you're going to get Aiden Kearney and all these other people for harassment. The harassment. And that's the other thing that just irritates me. I want to know why Judge Beverly gave a flying flip about the harassment coming in. Why does she care? She thought it should be in. She herself said, if it's an answer and somebody opens the door, then fair game. Well, what do you think Lowley told Jennifer McCabe? Hey, anytime you get a chance to talk about that harassment affecting you, then you're opening that door. When you open that door, then I can ask you questions about how it made you feel, okay? The USAG from DOJ can send inspector. Why aren't they? Why aren't they? Do we all need to write letters? Do we need to write real paper letters, or do we need to do email letters, or what do we need to do? Because, quite frankly, it's very embarrassing for me to know that people in other countries may see this crap going on and think this is the way it is in the United States. Because although we may have issues, we have rights. And not only do we have rights, there's supposed to be accountability for when the people in power are corrupt. And that's what we have here from the judge down. Well, I don't know. Maybe it goes higher than the judge. And the DA doubling down by hiring somebody $1 million, but he doesn't want to pay $200,000 to check the adherence of the Canton Police Department. And then on top of that, we have trouble about the state troopers because they're crooked. Those are some sick suckers right there. And Proctor, if he's really working for an investigator, can you even imagine that? Can you imagine all the people that have seen the trial? If he were to knock on their door and have any questions, I'd be like, Mister, you better get off my lawn, and you better do it in a few minutes, because I'm going to call that you are harassing me. I'm going to call that I'm afraid for my safety. You need to get off my property. I mean, wow. And just like, what was it, Bukaki that went up to the witness or the person? I guess he'll tell that this person, they followed the case. They know what's going on, and their opinion, which they're entitled to, is, that Jen McCabe is a murderer. And the reason that they say that is because of the 2:27 a.m. Google search. I believe it. So I don't know. Well, okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure any concerned citizen can call. Well, maybe that's what let's see, Monday. How about Monday I do that? Maybe I should call the US DOJ and ask for help. US DOJ. But when that person asked the one on the committee, and he was like, but I thought that it was an ingenious way to collect evidence. But did y'all hear the rest of the story? Before it melted, it's freezing, it's snowing, it's freezing weather. But they were able to get that evidence before it melted. %90 of what comes out of their mouths makes absolutely 0 sense. And they don't care. So, all right, let's see. USDOJ asked for help for Canton. But the situation with the citizens, the situation with the yards, and if it, I mean, to me, it's just horrific. One lady actually has vegetables and fruit, I guess, probably, but bottom line is her food source for these vegetables is gone. And not only that, but the chemicals that were put in the yard, is it going to be safe for her to plant food there now? Will food grow there now? What would happen if children would have gotten a hold of the bag of leftover balloons? Do we care? Or do we just put them in the same category as expendable? Man, I look like I'm tired. I'm going, oh my gosh. But those are the things that are bothering me. And I'm sure that there's more. I'm going to write a list out. I'm honestly going to do it organized. And I think that most of the presentations are going to be with me not doing a live, but just doing a preview and then hanging out for lives every now and again, because that way I don't get too sidetracked. Because like I'm so sidetracked right now that I've talked for almost 2 hours. People like me, right? We can talk to ourselves. And just so you know, I do have a confession to make. I actually do talk to myself. So much so that my husband actually does request that I stop doing so. I mean, just last night I was in the kitchen doing something and I said something, and I was talking about my coffee cup or drying it out, or I don't know, but I was talking to the coffee cup. My husband's watching football. He's in the other room telling me he can't hear me. Well, I'm deaf. I don't even know he's talking to me because 90% of the time I don't wear my hearing aids because my grandbabies are so loud I don't really need to have them on. So he came around the corner and he goes, I told you I can't hear what you're saying. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I was talking to myself. And once again, he goes, oh, how many times do I have to ask you to stop talking to yourself? So there's that entertainment for this old couple today. It's like, oh my gosh. But I guess I just had to come on and say that. I was gonna show some of the video because, but I think I'll just do that tomorrow. I think possibly I'll just do it. I honestly wish I knew how to play the audio portion of that one that I want. And I've got a note, but I need to put on Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I say, I'm not that great about. I'm not really resourceful. I'll be happy to share evidence that comes forward that I trust Aiden. So when he puts out something, I like to share that because I trust him. He's got so much stuff. I'd love to just go on and do it, and especially with this stuff coming up on Canton 9 and the other people. And I want to see him. I want to see him fall. I want to see Humpty Dumpty fall off that wall. Somebody needs to push him off. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how this town is getting away with this. And is this the way it is in other towns that have select boards, or do the select boards actually listen to the people of the town and take into consideration what they want, what they don't want? Because over here in Canton, um, the winner takes all, and the winner is the McAlberts. Just whatever the people on the McAlbert side wants is what's going to happen. If you happen to be for that, then you're going to be pleased. But if you happen to not be for that, you're going to be upset. But either way you go, it's not a good look, you know. That's just how I feel. So I think that tomorrow or the next day will be when I start releasing some Karen Reed, the old stuff. And I know that I hope that I get my video out sharing the spots of this video that just have me just insane, because I mean, they only an idiot would believe this shit coming out of their mouths. I mean, I want to fly up there and put on a sign that says, Bev, I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. I'll never look the other way. Yeah. I've always been the one for justice, even growing up. If you're doing something wrong, mm, knowledge is something I'd rather not know, because no, we don't need to be doing something not right. So I'm rattling. I'm getting real tired. I could just near about fall asleep now. So I'm gonna hope that sticks with me. And otherwise I'll be struggling with not being able to sleep. But I think I can sleep tonight. And my dog is already asleep. My husband's gonna want to go to sleep. He's got to get him to go to work. But we've got a party um, tomorrow for the tween girls. Oh my goodness. So I hope y'all all have a good night. Um, I hope that y'all will tune in on my videos and give me input and thoughts. And I'm hoping that some of you haven't seen all the stuff I'm going to be digging into. So good night, Ernie Birdie. And everybody that stuck around, I want to say thank you so much. It's I enjoy doing this, and it's really funny because I just Corey's mama Pixie, she's told me for quite a while, oh, you should do a YouTube, because I'm always talking about stuff. I'm like, no, I can't. She's real good at what she does. I'm just a blooming idiot. But then again, Corey, his vocabulary was watch me do it. So, you can't let your 11-year-old grandson show you up. Of course, in heaven now, he's turned 13. So right after he said Sally, he turned 12, and then he turned 13. People that have goodness in their hearts and justice, and they want to see that done. This case is just driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. So I appreciate it, and mostly I just wanted to come on because I actually was missing seeing y'all, even though I just rattled. I had planned to say a few things, and instead just I was going to show some things. Instead, I just talked. So I'm glad that y'all stopped in to share some time with me, and I hope y'all have a great day or night or whatever it may be for you. I've got my note on Monday to make that phone call. So maybe I'll have some information. Good night, my Parsons monkey. And I'll either be sending out a video either tomorrow or Sunday. Sunday's football, so, but my husband works, so just depends on what's going on with the grands. If I think Sunday will be definite. I know tomorrow is probably not going to work out the way I want it to, but you never know. So we'll see y'all later. I hope y'all have a good night, and I'm going to say goodbye, and y'all take care.